Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing a little bit of a different video today. I kind of want to show you what it's like to do some silicone work with where I sculpt the baby, and then I make the molds, and then I pour the silicone into the molds. I'm not going to show you all that, but mainly just the like the different steps, I guess you would say. So this is my desk. I don't always work on this desk, but this is one of the desks I work on. But of course, it would be covered. I'm not actually doing work. I'm just kind of showing you. So right here, I know this looks kind of scary, but this is my first ever sculpt that I did. And this is clay, and it's been baked. This is Beloved, his head. And he looks like an old man. I know he looks like, I always think he looks like Victor Corleone from The Godfather, a baby Godfather. And all my babies, a lot of sculptors, their babies tend to look similar as they go. So all my babies are very chubby. That's what my signature look is, I guess. But anyway, so this is the head, and how you sculpt the head is you get a foil ball, like you make a use foil to make a ball, and then you put clay over that. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's not that simple. And then you just start sculpting. And this baby was a partial silicone. So he has the head, and then I sculpted his limbs off, so his arms and legs. And so I'm going to introduce, so here is what the clay looks like. It comes in these bars. I think it's like 16 ounces. And you have to like condition the clay, which you put it through a pasta roller, like you make pasta with it, several times, like make sheets, and it softens the clay up. So this is kind of what the clay looks more like when it's a little bit softened. This is still not very conditioned, but it's more than just how it is out of the package there. So this is what the clay sort of looks like when it's a little bit conditioned, and you roll it out. Usually you roll it out into sheets most of the time, or little balls, and then you work with that. So ideally I would sculpt the head, the limbs, or a full body baby. My first one happened to be this, and let me show you. You can see here the ears are the absolute hardest to sculpt. They're so difficult, and if you look at it, our ears are not identical, meaning we have two ears, but they're not perfectly identical to each other. So that's something you have to learn. It's very difficult to sculpt ears, at least for me it is. So this is a baby, and this is obviously his flange. This would be all, the mold would go all the way over here, so that all the way down to where the clay is. So, so what you do, so you sculpt your piece, and as you're sculpting, you use these little alcohol wipes to clean it, because you get dirt on it even if you're not attending to. And here's some of the tools I use. This is one of my favorite tools. It was a handmade, like, little tool. And you end up actually use paintbrushes too, to move, when you want to move just a tiny bit of clay and you want it to be subtle. You use actually a brush. And then this cuts the clay and slices it, and it's very sharp, so you gotta be careful. You can also put, this is, coconut oil. You can put that on the clay while you're doing it a little bit to make it like more pliable. Here's some of my other tools for sculpting, but I mostly use these for it. This one actually is just a cuticle stick for when you do your nails. This is probably one of the ones I use the most. And it's really good to make different things. I don't know why I showed up like that. But anyway, so, and you roll it out. You can also use like a roller like this. But I use the pasta roller that makes pasta really thin sheets. I don't have that out because it was just taking up too much room. But so once you have sculpted the piece that you want, you actually bake it in the oven. And sometimes they get imperfections and cracks in it from baking, and then you have to fill those in and sand them down. But anyway, so let's get to this step. So we would be, I would have the piece done. It's been baked, it's cooled, and it's ready to go. So then after you do that, you actually, I don't have it in front of me, but I would have a big paintbrush and those big, huge popsicle sticks. And I would use that to brush on silicone, which is called dragon skin silicone. And it's very tough and thick. So you put several layers, you brush it right onto the piece that you want to make the mold on. So you brush it just like kind of like paint, and you do several layers so it's thick. And that is called the glove mold. So I'm going to show you what that looks like when it's done. So once it's dried and set, you just take that right off of this. This is his actual mold. So you would peel it right off after it's set. And this is called the glove mold because it's kind of like a glove. And if you look in there, you can see, I don't know if you're able to see his face, but yep, see his nose, the impression of his nose and everything. This is his actual mold of his head. You can see his face, his nose is right there. And this is several layers. You paint it on and use big popsicle sticks when you get to the end because it gets very gummy. And it's several layers. I don't know if you can see. Sometimes you can look at like right here and see the layers. It's probably like 8 layers. See all different colors? That's how you know it's the layer is complete. You put different colors on there. So this is the glove mold, and they call it glove because it's very thick. It's like rubbery. Then after that, you paint this stuff on. It's more like an epoxy. You hear it? It's like hard. It's very, very hard. So then you paint this, or not paint it, you kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but you put it on with your hands, like little balls, and you squish it out to be thin, and then you put it on the mold after the glove mold is complete and dry. So you put 2 pieces on, the front and the back, and this is called the mother mold because the mother mold actually holds this mold, the softer mold. So that, and I think that's why they call it mother, because it actually cradles the other mold. It's not fitting, but it's very precise how you do it. You have to make it very precise to the mold. So it holds the mold in place, and it won't collapse when you pour the silicone in. Because you're going to pour the silicone in, and you want a shell around it, which is the mother mold, and it's coming apart. But anyway, it's supposed to be that. It's 2 pieces. So you want the mother mold, this hard, it's like an epoxy. Around it, almost like a fiberglass is the way I'll explain it. It's like a fiberglass. And this goes around, I'll show it like this. This goes around the glove mold. And it keeps it in place. It cradles it. So when you pour the silicone in, because it's very heavy, even though silicone is liquid, it's very heavy, like water sort of, it's very heavy. So when you pour it in, if you weren't to have the mother mold on here, this hard mold, it would just collapse and it would be misshapen, and then your baby or doll would come out all misshapen. It has to have something to cradle it so that it can hold its weight. So that's what the mother mold is for. And as you can see, I wrote on there, beloved face. See, this would be where his face is, so I know each piece. This is the face piece, and this is the back of his head piece. Okay, so there's his head, and I'm just going to show you real quick. These are his legs. See how big his legs are? The rubbery part is the inside. That's the glove mold, as we said. He has to have 2 pieces to hold, to cradle the glove mold. The epoxy mold cradles the mother mold. It cradles it. So this is interesting. So it's not as easy as you just think. Like, okay, just pour silicone in. It's very precise and very meticulous. So when you pour it in, it's very heavy. Like I said, you have to prop it correctly. So that's why I put this on the bottom, so that his legs actually stand up. And I usually put them against this wall just to show you. And then I prop stuff around it lightly so that it will stand. And when you pour the silicone in it, the mold, it will withstand it, and it will not, fall over or not cave in. That's why you have the mother mold. So here's his 2 legs. He's got some big old legs. He's a big boy. And his 2 arms. And there's his fists. And his arms are a lot like, let's see, I named it arm 2, beloved, bottom, so I know which side is which. And his arms, I fashioned them because it was my first one. It was easier for me to do it this way. So I fashioned his arms to be just straight out, kind of like, how Bonnie Brown, Maddie sculpt is. Her arms are just up, actually. They're straight out. That's how I sculpted his arms to make it easier for my first pour. Anyway, so right now I'm going to show you the silicone baby that came from first this, which is the sculpture of clay, in clay. Then you make the two different types of molds off of that. And then you pour the silicone into the different molds. And it makes it sound very easy, but it is not. It's like pouring silicone is like sort of like an experiment, like science. I mean, you have to get it very precise. The mixing, the pouring, and everything. If you don't get it very precise, it will not set. Or the mold can open and bust, and then that's not good. All the silicone goes on the floor. So anyway, it's a lot more difficult. I'm making it sound like really simple, but anyway, I'm going to show you the actual finished baby that I made from the molds. And this is Beloved. So I've seen him before, but it's kind of cool to see him next to it. So there's Beloved. He looks so grumpy, and I've painted him, obviously. So he's got a silicone head and silicone arms and legs and a cloth body. He's a partial, and he's a big boy. He came out to be about size 3 to 6 months. And here's his little hand. One hand. Like I said, he has arms like Maddie. Sculpt. He's got little fists like he's getting ready to fight. So here he is. He looks so grumpy and mad, but I do love him to pieces. And he's painted. He's a really big boy. And so there he is. And I do have his molds, so if somebody in the future would like me to make them a Beloved, he's a big boy, he weighs 10 pounds, so he's heavy. Then I can do that, but let's look at his little feetsies. I just had him covered because I want to show you all of them. So here's his feetsies. There's his feet. And his feet are, legs are a little slightly bent. So there he is from a distance. So he looks huge. He is a big boy. Like I said, he wears 3 to 6 month size clothes. He looks so grumpy and mad. He's mad. But anyway, I'm happy with him for my first ever sculpture and pour. It was some years ago that I finished him. But anyway, there he is. And he's a baldy. He's a baldy. There he is sleeping. He's a sleeping boy. And that is Beloved. So I just want to show you that. I'm also going to show you what I'm working on now. So I have 2 more heads that I am in the process of sculpting right now. One is almost finished, and I'll show you the bigger one is going to just be a partial. I'm going to use her head, and I'm probably going to use Beloved's limbs for her to make it easier for right now. But the other one is going to be a full body, newborn size. So let me show you the heads. They're just heads right now. I'm sorry I didn't take the plastic off. I should have taken the plastic off. Let me set the phone down for just a second. If you want to look at his thing, I'm sorry. I just want to take him out of the plastic so you can see it. This first one is, I'll show you the difference. And the other head is huge. Let's see. Alright, here we go. So here we go, sorry. So this is Bethel. And as you can see, her head is huge. I think her head is actually bigger than Beloved's. So then his limbs would actually work for her. She is almost complete. I have to smooth her, and obviously I have to put ears on her. But she's much more complete than my other ones. Her name is Bethel, which means House of God. And I try to name all my babies with the aspects of God or characteristics of God. So there's Bethel. This is the one I'm working on now. So he has a lot more ways to go. This is Roach, which means, in Hebrew, it means spirit or breath of life. So, but I would call him Spirit for short, because most people aren't going to pronounce Roach. So there he is, and he's got much more ways to go of sculpting, but I just want to show you he's going to be newborn size, and he will be a full body baby. Hopefully, he's going to be a full body baby, and this baby is going to be another partial. So look, let's see, look at this head. Actually, yeah. Her head is a bit bigger, so the limbs will work, I believe, for her. Her head is a bit bigger. She's got a huge head. They can almost be twins, I think. But you can see my sculpting, hopefully, has gotten better in between these two, because this is my first, and this one here is my third, Bethel. But you can see I make pretty chubby babies. That's my signature, I guess, except for Spirit is not too chubby yet. So my second baby was a full body baby. He's 13 inches and he is a full body silicone, little preemie boy. So I will show you him sometime too. His name is Timothy. He was made after a baby that passed away too soon, one of our angel babies. So a local lady that I made friends with, I made it in remembrance of her little boy. So anyway, I just want to show you a little bit about sculpting and pouring silicone. I hope that it wasn't too scattered and all over the place, but I just wanted to show you that, and we'll show you him for a minute. But anyway, maybe one day I'll come on and show you my little 13-inch silicone full body that I sculpted and poured and made his molds also. But this is big old beloved right now, and I love him. I'm so chubby. So obviously some of my tendencies in sculpting is to make chubby babies. I guess I love chubby babies. So I thank y'all for watching, and please comment if you want to see any more videos, about sculpting or pouring silicone. I can do more because it's pretty detailed work. It's like pretty precise, like I was trying to explain. So if you have any questions or you'd like to see something more about that, just let me know, and I'll be happy to make more videos about it if you would like. I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe and stay blessed, and I will talk to you very soon.